Place your bets, you jackwagons. Brad the Big Noise Evans here on a solo mission edition of the Feed 5 podcast. Yeah, Nathaniel Lundy is out of action. I got some people there at Casa de Lundy hammering away and doing some remodeling work, so he's going to be rejoining me on a hashtag Tequila Thursday edition of the program. But that doesn't stop. We don't stop. We don't quit. We keep on marching on. We know we got some Monday Night Football action that you're yearning for. So let's go ahead and hop aboard the Hong Kong Plus Bus. What do I like at plus 100 odds or greater in this Commanders and Chiefs matchup? When you look at it, let's get down. National Titans say it was yesterday. Does it extend into Monday? I say it does. Give me Mr. Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce, anytime touchdown at plus 121. And with a profit boost there at DraftKings Sportsbook. You know the Kelce is a guy that is featured prominently inside the red zone. Washington, a team outside the top 20 in pass EPA defense on this season, should be able to leak out at some point in a game in which Kansas City is favored by double figures and spike one home. He ain't completely cooked yet. Certainly had his moments being a prominent field stretcher. And again, if George Kittle got in the end zone yesterday, he's going to be like, I see what you did there, George. I'll try to one-up you on the national tight ends weekend, so to speak. So give me Travis Kelce to spike one home in the anytime touchdown market at plus 121 with the boost there at DraftKings Sportsbook. But wait, of course, Lundy's got to drop the puck and try to make some bucks. I got the reasoning right here on my phone, so I'm going to read it to you. He is going to roll with the Ottawa Senators at minus 1.5 on the puck line against the Boston Bruins at a plus 150. And he collected that one at Caesars Sportsbook. The reason why I like this one, Ottawa has won 2 in a row, outscoring the opponent 9-2 in those 2 games. Boston can't generate any offense and is 1-3 on the road so far this season. So yeah, we don't leave that stone unturned. We're always dropping the puck and making some bucks during the NHL season, and that's a specialty of Nathaniel Lundy. So he's going to roll with the Senators minus 1.5 there on the puck line at a juicy plus 150 at Caesars Sportsbook. With those bets on the board, it's time to get after it with another Monday edition of the Fade 5. All right, numero cinco on the countdown, a bet that just keeps on profiting. And folks, I'm ice cold right now in the world of sports betting. If you follow the always free, transparent, and public spreadsheet, the worst weekend of the year, your boy underwent, down nearly 16 units. So we are drowning right now, and hopefully going to resurface in some way and chip away at the deficit. So that heater is always right around the corner. Maybe it'll start tonight, and maybe it's going to start with numero cinco on the countdown. And Brashard Smith, I'll take the over on 15.5 receiving yards at a minus 115 juice there at BetMGM. Again, as I mentioned, the Commanders, subpar defensively, especially on the back end, number 24 in drop back EPA defense this season, and they give it up a healthy amount of receptions and yards just to the running back position at 3.7 catches per game to be exact, and 41.6 receiving yards per game. 5 guys, a handful have gone over 15.5 receiving yards against them. And you look at Smith, he's only running around on 13.5% of his snaps played, averaging less than 10 routes run per game overall, but he's seeing 8.7 yards per catch. He is numero uno in yards per route run among all running backs, and he has gone for at least 21 receiving yards in 4 straight games. Now, I think he's going to have to get this in the first half. As they could be a really run-heavy attack after halftime if Kansas City continues to show up and show out, and more than likely they will, against a downtrodden defense of the Commanders. This game being played at Arrowhead and Kansas City favored by a hefty margin. So hopefully, fingers and toes crossed, we start off on the right foot. Give me Brashard Smith over 15.5 receiving yards. Numero cinco on the countdown today at a minus 115 juice at BetMGM. Numero Quattro, the Monday edition of the Fade 5 Countdown. Welcome back, a scary Terry McLaurin. Ooh. Yeah, I don't think it's going to put much of a fright in the eyes and minds of the Kansas City Chiefs today. Look, McLaurin, I think this number is a little bit too high. I mean, traditionally, you would say, man, that's low-hanging fruit. I got to pluck it off the branch, but it could be poisoned. I wouldn't bite into it. I kind of like the under. I will live with that line down under 46.5. Kansas City has been stiff and stout on the back end this season defensively. Number 7 in drop back, EP80 entering the week. 9, however, have gone over of the necessary number against them. But Noah Williams is number 1, numero uno, and pass coverage grade, according to Pro Football Focus, entering the week. He's only given up a 56.3 passer rating and 4.7 yards per catch, along with a 50% catch rate. Why is that important? Well, that is a projected primary assignment of one scary Terry McLaurin. It could be some accumulated rust and dust. It's been quite a while, been a minute, to say the least, that McLaurin has seen action in real time. So I say Terry McLaurin could be more of a bit player in this one, even if Washington is going to have to play from behind, which is more than likely going to be the case. So give me the under, living that land down under 46.5 receiving yards at a minus 115. Book there at ESPN Bet. Next up on the countdown, numero tres. Let's go with the M&Ms, and hopefully they're going to be oh so tasty, especially when they hit the bottom of that Halloween bag, something that's going to be coveted. By the way, huge fan of the peanut M&Ms. They're my jam every single stinking time. Don't hate me. But I think numero tres will come through here. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I think Marcus Mariota is going to hit the over on 27.5 rush yards. I have supreme confidence in this one at a minus 115 at DraftKings Sportsbook. I wrote about this as well on thegamingjuice.com. So you want all the gory details, by all means, that's leading the site right now. I think this number has crept up to 28.5. I'd still play it. I played up to like 29.5, maybe as high as 30.5. If you want to step ladder it, take it at like 30, 35, maybe as high as 40, that'd probably be the upper limit. I certainly don't hate it. A guy that should have his opportunities on the ground, Kansas City. Yeah, they're middle of the pack, number 17 in pocket pressure percentage, dialing up that heat on 18.3% of opponent dropbacks. But again, similar to Washington in terms of the back end, Kansas City has been vulnerable on the front side of their defense. Number 24 in rush EPAD entering the week. They give it up the 6th most opponent at the quarterback position. Rush yards per game at 26.7. You look, a couple of guys have done this against them already this year, and Marcus Mariota has done this in 2 of 3 games. And one of those games, he didn't start, only came in and played like a couple of quarters. I mean, he's averaging a hefty 9.4 yards per carry. So put all together, Marcus Mariota hit that sweet tooth M&M guy on the over 27.5 rush yards at a minus 115 at DraftKings Sportsbook. Hey, you want some more action? Go to my website. It's absolutely free. It's called thegamingjuice.com. Yeah, Jackals. All of my fantasy football rankings already for week 9 are live on the site. The 1.0 version. I'll adjust. I'll add guys if need be. Based on some of the injury news and notes that come out throughout the entire week. You could ask me a question at your leisure, at your convenience. Click Ask Brad at the top of the screen and fire away. And again, I will get to it when I can, usually within hours. That's how convenient it is to get accessibility, and I don't charge you a dime. All of my Fantasy Flames pieces will post there in week 9. Quarterback's already live, already working feverishly right now on some options at running back. Not nearly as a bye-heavy week with 4 teams on a 1-week siesta. Cleveland, New York Jets, Philadelphia, and Tampa. But still, you have some fantasy football needs, and I aim to serve. Of course, my top props columns live there. My prime time props columns will also be live on the site ahead of Thursday night football, Sunday night football, and next Monday night football as well. You get it all, including Lundy's always free and transparent spreadsheet. Mine as well at thegamingjuice.com. Again, I don't charge you a dime. It's free. Click, converse, and cash, maybe. Numero dos here, the Monday edition of the Feed 5 Countdown. Oh, let's go with the Punisher, baby, and bring the pain. Isaiah Pacheco. I say anytime touchdown. Absolutely love the value here at a plus 180 there at DraftKings Sportsbook. Washington, again, ultra leaky, susceptible. I mentioned on the back end, but also the front end defensively. Number 20 in rush EPAD is where they rank enter the week, giving up 4.15 yards per carry, 96.7 rush yards per game. Sure, they've only surrendered 4 total touchdowns to the running back position, but look at Pacheco. He has crossed the chalk in 2 of his last 4 games, starting to really pick up some momentum here the last couple of weeks. He's top 30 in total red zone attempts on the season, seeing 45.1% of the opportunity share. Yes, he will surrender some touches to the aforementioned Brashard Smith. Yes, Kareem Hunt is scheduled to play despite being banged up last week. But clearly, those are second and third fiddles. I think Pacheco is going to be a guy who's going to see extensive work after halftime, assuming the script plays out the way that we all anticipate. And Kansas City just putting the body slam, putting the smackdown on this Commanders defense. So give me Isaiah Pacheco to splash 6 at a plus 180. I rolled the shoulders and got seduced by the juice there at DraftKings Sportsbook. Numero uno on the Monday edition of the Fade 5 Countdown. I've been waiting on pins and needles for this. The only book that offered anything in this category, and it was on rush attempts, was BetMGM. Now, the standard juice on this is like minus 185, minus 190. So what I did is I applied a profit boost that they generously gave me. It was like 50%, lowered this sucker down to a minus 120 and slammed it. And that's on X gon' give it to you. Xavier Worthy on the over a half a rush attempt. I just need a single tote and we cash in. Now, I'm also waiting patiently at tape time and yet to drop. I'm expecting it will before kickoff at some place, at some book on the actual rush yards. I'm guessing it's going to be anywhere between like 3.5 to 6.5 yards. Anything below 5.5, I'm absolutely Dominique Wilkins windmill slam dunking the over on it. It's a wager that I take every single week. For those of you that are fans of the Fade 5 podcast, you know that I am a creature of habit when it comes to everything Xavier Worthy on the ground. And particularly for this wager offered, he has done this in every game this season, even in that game south of the equator in Brazil, in which he exited due to some friendly fire from Travis Kelce very early in that contest. He booked a single carry on the ground. There was like exit stage left after that, and he's got at least one carry in every following game since coming off of that injury. In fact, you look at the last 4 games, he's gone 39 yards to the ground, 9, 6, and 13. That's why I said 5.5 is kind of the magic number there for the rush yards when it does open, if it does in fact surface. A lot of people have been betting on this. I know this is always one of the favorite public bets every single week, not on attempts, but on the actual rush yards for Xavier Worthy. And as I mentioned before, Washington giving up 4.15 yards per carry, number 20 in rush EPAD. Andy Reid is always ultra creative. Okay, he's the mad scientist in the lab, as I like to call him. Spinning the hairs on his mustache, thinking about, how am I going to get Xavier Worthy the ball? Maybe on an end around, maybe on a backwards pass, maybe a direct handoff. Just used in a variety and a multitude of ways. And I think he'll get at least a single carry. However it's done, maybe it's an end around just in general, a jet sweep. I don't care. I just need one carry and I cash in, and including the odds boost there, it's a minus 120 at BetMGM. And again, keep your eye out for the rush yards prop. Anything at 5.5 or lower, I'm in. Fade or follow, as I always say. That is entirely up to you. So again, my top play on the Monday edition of the Countdown, Xavier Worthy over a half a rush attempt at a minus 120 with that boost at BetMGM. But wait, there's more. It's bonus time, bonus time. All right, what else do I like in this matchup tonight? And I'll even work in an NBA bet. First, let's go with the Team Cuervos parlay play, a little same gamer. Like numero uno, and I built this at ESPN. Hollywood Brown, 2+ receptions. A guy that should get anywhere between 4 to 6 targets in this game. I know Patrick Mahomes likes spreading the love around, but even with Rashee Rice back last week, he had 2 grabs, and I think it'd be exactly that. That's all we need, 2 a reeling in of the football, and we cash in on leg numero uno. Speaking of Rashee Rice, I need 4+ receptions. Again, 7 is what he had last week. A guy that's going to be targeted early and often, used in a variety of ways, primarily working out of the slot. He's going to see a sizable target share in this one. Probably going to have to get it within the first 2.5 quarters of the game, because I don't know how much the starters are going to play in the fourth quarter if this contest goes the way I suspect. And it could be a smashing by the Kansas City Chiefs. At least the odds makers believe that. So Rashee Rice, 4 more grabs, should be able to get that against this beatable secondary of the Washington Commanders. And the last one, again, Scary Terry. Ooh, it doesn't put much of a fright into me. He's like Casper the Friendly Ghost. I'll take the under on that 46.5, working that leg. I already gave the reasons earlier on the pod why I'm living a land down under on McLaurin. His first game back in eons. So again, the Team Cuervos parlay play, same game variety. Built at ESPN bet. Hollywood Brown, 2+ receptions. Rashee Rice, 4+ grabs. Terry McLaurin under on 46.5 receiving yards. Uno, dos, and tres, mi amigos. All 3 legs hit. You're looking at a cool plus 184 at ESPN bet. Elsewhere in bonus time. All right, I've exhausted everything that I have on my card when it comes to Monday Night Football, but I got some of the NBA, so I'm going to toss this one out. Give me AD, Anthony Davis, now the Dallas Mavericks taking on Oklahoma City, defending NBA champs there in the Thunder. I'm going to go with the alt market and say he squeezes a dozen rebounds, and I grabbed that at plus 119 at DraftKings Sportsbook. Why am I high on AD to do this? Well, he played OKC one time last year, and he logged a dozen rebounds in that game. And he's been all over waxing that glass in the NBA the first 3 games of the year. 10, 13, and 13 rebounds is what he's accomplished here in the first 3 games of the season. So over in 2 or 3. And you look at OKC, same issue they had last year. They give up a ton of boards. I mean, they're an outstanding team, don't get me wrong, but they, so far, the young year, a couple of games in, have allowed the second most opponent rebounds per game at 52.3. So only the Indiana Pacers have been worse on the glass to begin this NBA season than the defending champs. So put all together, Anthony Davis, 12 or more rebounds against the Thunder at a plus 119. Digging in on that. All right, I'm out of breath and out of time on this express edition of the Fade 5 podcast. So do Lundy and I a favor, would you kindly drop us a rating and a review at your convenience. Also, feed or follow us on the X. Lundy always giving it to you there, especially his hockey picks at Nate Lundy. I'm doing the same. You might want to fade me at Noisy Huevos for the not here, Nathaniel Lundy. I'm Brad Evans. Until next time, Thursday, mi amigos, fade or follow. That is up to you. Oh, I'm so chilly.